good news is I've cut out a big chunk of what I was going to say, but then I've added in a bit that I wasn't going to say. But we'll see how we get on. This is the suit bit I have to say first, which is the overview of the national strategy on domestic, sexual and gender-based violence, which CUSC is the coordinating office for. And then I'll say a little bit about two words. We were hearing about the word no, and I just want to add two more words, and then just a little round-up remark. So I'll try and be quick. CUSC was set up in June 2007, and after consultation set up the national strategy, which runs from 2010 to 2014. We had a midterm review published in December 2012, and all of this is on our website, so you don't even have to listen to this bit. We have 4 high-level goals. One is a culture of prevention and recognition, which, what does that mean? Well, it means we put our money where our mouth is, and we have an awareness-raising grant scheme where we gave $250,000 last year to more than 70 projects. $250,000 is tiny when you're doing awareness raising, absolutely tiny, as I discovered. Out of that, voluntary sector groups producing posters and billboards, web-based video productions, local and national campaigns, different audiences. There's a 2 Into You campaign for dating relationships. We've had a lot of focus on victim awareness of issues and services available, as would be natural, but we're trying to also move to bystander awareness. We're talking about saying no and not condoning this morning, and building consciousness that domestic violence is not acceptable. And we're also trying to reach potential perpetrators to help them to desist or not to start. So that's high-level goal 1, prevention and recognition. If you want to see the actual activities under that, and if you want to see the state of play as of June 2012, go onto our website. And if you wait a couple of weeks, we'll have the December 2012 update as to what the current state of play is, as with all the activities under the programme. The second objective is effective and consistent service to victims. Now, CUSC does not provide services to victims. We try to help people that are providing services talk to each other. So there's court accompaniment, there's sexual assault treatment unit accompaniment for victims, and accompaniment to Garda stations. There's information and support services. There's the Women's Aid helpline working 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. The refuges also have 24-hour helplines. Dublin Rape Crisis Centre national helpline 24-hour, and routine inquiry in accident and emergency hospitals, units in hospitals. If you come in with an injury, did someone do this to you, where you might be claiming it's an accident. That's not fully rolled out yet, but that's one of the things. Counselling, especially for victims of sexual violence, and refuges. Now, under this, we have the whole of government approach, which is a buzzword, but there are 59 activities, and there's CUSC and 6 state organisations. CUSC leads on 31 activities. HSE are about to be Child and Family Support Agency, leads on 12. Department of Justice and Equality have 9 activities of their own. 3 activities for the Department of Education and Skills, 2 for Department of Environment, Community and Local Government, and 2 other activities. So examples of whole of government. Well, there was there's a problem in relation to immigrants who were subject to domestic violence, and their status in the country, their legal status, depended on that of the family and of their partner. So there was an informal arrangement where the woman could get separate status, but people didn't know about it. So we were approached, the CUSC were approached by a number of non-governmental organisations, and we connected them to INISH, the Immigration Service, and now we have guidelines on the website so people know it is available in extreme circumstances that you can get separate status. Another major thing we're trying to work on, and we're trying to push for a long time, is that there will be a consistent approach to accommodation for victims of domestic violence by local authorities. And there's been a committee in the Department of the Environment, but it's been held up for a long time because of staff changes and people retiring and so on. But we're hoping that that will reactivate soon, and we'll have guidance for the local authorities, because refuges are becoming not permanent housing but temporary housing rather than refuges which are short term. So it's very important that there be a whole range of other housing options for people to move out of refuges. Then the third overall objective is more effective policy and service planning. We try to do a bit of data gathering, some research. I won't bore you with the research, you can look on the website. And the fourth objective is efficient and effective implementation. Basically, we have structures and we have 6 monthly monitoring of the national strategy, which is overseen by a senior group. I won't bore you with the structures either. If you want to, they're on the website. So that's the national strategy, and the website is cusc.ie, easy. So we heard about a simple word this morning, no. And I was thinking of another 2 words, and one of them is evil. And I was doing some work before I worked in CUSC in the Victims of Crime Office, which I'm still working. And I was with Sarah Benson, who was then in Women's Aid, and we were doing a little bit of work, and she was briefing me. And as part of that briefing, she was telling me some of the things that they hear on the phone line, the Women's Aid phone line. And we were in a lovely, well, it was a porta-cabin, but it was a lovely, it was a counselling setting. And gentle Sarah telling me these things. But I went away on my bike and I just had reflecting on what I'd heard, because that wasn't the main focus of what we're doing at all. It struck me that there is evil in the world, and that broken bones and other things which we need to get into in detail, they are evil. I'm not saying people are necessarily evil, but I think it's useful to say there is evil in the world. And I talked this morning about transformation and how do we transform this evil. And I'm not sure, but another word came to me, and it came to me in a very unusual way. We were engaging a bit with MEND, CEDVIP, MND, and I was interested in perpetrator programs, having worked in the prisons area for a while. And I said to guys who were working on it, I want to go and see what these people are about. And we heard this guy, Paul Wolflight, was coming to give a training, and down in New Ross. So let's go and talk to this guy. If he's their guru, let's hear what he's saying to them, so we know what their model is and how they're working. And they were very receptive. So we drove down, and before I went down, I said to Trevor, look, will you just tell me something? Do me a page on who this guy is. I don't want to just walk in and have nothing on him. Like, to have some sense of who I'm talking to. So Trevor went on the web and just cut and pasted a few things, and I read the page, and there was one word in it that I've never, ever seen in an official document before. Now, this wasn't an official document, but in my official capacity, the word was love. And Paul was talking about, in perpetrator programs, the need to use love. So I think that's a word that's very difficult. It's a 4-letter word. I think in counselling it's coded as unconditional positive regard. We also code it as non-judgmental. But some of the stuff that people do with some of the people they do it with, whether they are extremely battered women or women who've been sexually violated, it's about love. And I think that's a word that's worth having in our vocabulary. Just to say to you, I am a suit. If you're looking for funding, don't put word love in your thing, because then you'll be written off. And it couldn't get worse than touchy-feely. So they're just 2 words to go with the no for ourselves. And then finally, this was scripted, I'd just say that to me, maybe I'm an innocent abroad now, I'm a long time in justice. It wasn't my parent department, so I didn't start there. But and you hear a lot of things. But this material that people are dealing with on either end is corrosive, and we need to have self-care mechanisms. And I don't have it solved for myself, but I do know it's not only a glass of wine. There needs to be something more than just a glass of wine, because otherwise burnout and cynicism corrodes us, and it impacts on our confidence, it impacts on our perspective, and it impacts on our professionalism. So we all need to find personal strategies for resilience. And in relation, a very small thing, in relation to intervening and sort of engaging with people who are subject to domestic or sexual violence, you don't have to do it all yourself. This is for the people who are just on the street, bystanders. The CUSC website has victim services under the name Victim Services by type and county. Sorry, under local and national services by type and county. So you can click on that website, see contact details, see websites for services. So that's about all I have to say, and thank you for your attention.